Good afternoon friends. This is in continuation to my last video wherein I talked about the hearing threshold estimation in pure tone audiometry testing. We had also discussed about the various steps involved in the threshold estimation in pure tone audiometry testing. To recapitulate the main points, I would like to draw your kind attention regarding the threshold estimation in pure tone audiometry testing again briefly. Please reminiscent that we had discussed in a normal hearing case, you can start giving the tone at 40 dB hearing level, or if you anticipate that the client or the case has hearing loss, then you can start giving the tone at 70 dB hearing level. Now today we will be discussing about a normal case, that means whose hearing is within normal limits. You have started giving the tone at 40 dB hearing level and the client responded to the tone. We kept on decreasing the tone until the client failed to respond at 0 dB hearing level. Later we increased the tone in 5 dB steps and the client responded to the tone at 10 dB HL. Further, we decreased the tone again in 10 dB steps. So at 0 dB the client failed to respond. Then we started increasing the tone again in 5 dB steps and later at 10 dB HL the client responded to the tone. So 10 dB is the threshold of hearing of the client. The usual order of frequency presentation is 1K, 2K, 4K, 8K, 500 Hz and finally 250 Hz. As you can see here, 1K, 2K, 4K, 8K, 500 Hz and finally 250 Hz. And these are known as octave frequency. A octave frequency can be defined as that frequency where the succeeding frequency is double that of the preceding frequency. I reiterate, the threshold at 1 kHz is retested or redetermined because of the following reasons. Number one, if the variation is 5 decibel, you can proceed with the test. That is, the test results are acceptable. Or if the variation is more than 5 decibel, then you need to carry out the test again. Generally, in the higher frequencies, the threshold variation is greater, and the greatest variation in threshold is observed at 8 kHz due to the following reasons. Number one, the wavelength of an 8 kHz tone is 4 cm and the distance between the diaphragm of the headphone and the tympanic membrane is around 4 cm. Therefore, once you give a tone whose frequency is 8 kHz, the reflected wave, the incident wave will hit the tympanic membrane and the reflected wave will be 180 degrees out of phase with the incident wave. This will result in standing waves. Standing waves occur more frequently in children than in adults and may also occur at 6 kHz. If unexpected findings are obtained at these frequencies, readjust the headphone or try using tube phones instead. When to test at intermediate frequencies? If there is a difference in sensitivity of 20 dB or greater between adjacent octave frequencies, the threshold should be obtained at half octave tone. If there is any significant history of noise exposure, the threshold should be obtained at 3 kHz and 6 kHz. If the test results are to be used for compensation purposes, the threshold should be obtained at 1.53 and 6 kHz. Have a look here. These are octave frequencies 250, 500, 1K, 2K, 4K and 8K. If the threshold variation or if the hearing sensitivity thresholds is greater than 20 dB or 20 dB between adjacent octave frequencies, then mid octave frequencies are tested. Or if the client has significant noise exposure history, then the thresholds at 3 kHz, 4 kHz and 6 kHz should be estimated. Please reminiscent that this is the interrupter switch of the pure tone audiometer, and the duration of the signal is usually 1 to 2 seconds, and the interstimulus interval should be varied but not shorter than that of the test signal. This is basically done to minimize adaptation and permit recovery from the adaptation that may occur. Patients with tinnitus, they have difficulty in distinguishing the test tone from the tinnitus. In such cases, as you can see here, pulse tone, the stimulus should be pulse tone. So in that case, the patient will not have difficulty in distinguishing the pulse tone from that of the tinnitus, and the threshold estimation would be proper and exact threshold estimation can be carried out. Take care not to establish predictable rhythm by presenting the signal at regular intervals. This may lead to false positive responses. False positives can occur in clients who are anxious to respond and also in many clients with tinnitus. Now we will discuss about the various types of hearing losses. Number 1, conductive hearing loss. Number 2, mixed hearing loss. And number 3, sensory neural hearing loss. Have a look at this graph where you can see the bone conduction thresholds are within normal limits and the air conduction thresholds are affected. Therefore, this is a case with conductive hearing loss.